Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to WizdomDropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. Meow. My name is Tonia, and today we are talking about, in my not stained but apparently stained shirt, chemicals. Okay, we're talking about chemicals and why they suck and where they're in and how you get contaminated with them in everyday life in this here age and how to avoid that shit. That is the topic of today's discussion, everybody. And I bring up my shirt because this is my anti-wrinkle thing. You know, I don't fuck with Glade and all that, whatever they Febreze, these little sprays and whatnot. No, I don't mess with that crap. It is not good for you. And I'm about to tell you all the reasons why, all the different things to avoid. Okay. But this is my solution. And I was like, no, let's turn this into a video. Like most people be like all shy about coming on here with a stained up shirt. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's water, and I'm gonna tell you why I have it. So let's talk about it. Before I do jump into all of this and we just dive in and wisdom bomb, just all these chemical things, okay? Couple quick announcements for you. If you're new, welcome. You can join us by subscribing. Hi. We have a pretty awesome community, pretty pumped about it. Number two, if this video brings you any value whatsoever and you know you've been giggling already, hit that like button because it helps other people get this information. It helps our community grow. It helps all these awesome things, okay? For no expense to you, but a click. Okay, moving forward, if you want a reading from me, granted this is not an astrology particular video, you can do that. And there is a Gmail address in the description of this vid. Y'all thought today was about the fire or the air forecasts and the forecast for the earth signs. Not today. Nope, not right now. This video, it needs to happen. So let's go forward. Now, as I said earlier, chemicals are balagna. We do not like them. Key things that I think you should know. For example, did you know in your laundry detergent, all major laundry detergent brands have so many not groovy chemicals in them? Just starting with the most foundational for your body, all the synthetic effing fucking perfume things. I cannot stand it. Is there anybody else out there in the community that gets like an asthma attack when they smell that stuff? Somebody be doing like laundry outside and I'll get a freaking asthma attack from all that crap in the air. It is so synthetic, yo, and I'm about to tell you more about that. Check it out. Do you know that that sort of synthetic fragrance, and you can find the same synthetic fragrance in perfume, in deodorant, in all sorts of things that are what is it called? Cosmetological, something to do with like hoity-toity, like making yourself up, like that sort of thing. A lot of that is so bad for your lymphatic system, yo. Do you know the lymphatic system? The lymphatic system, let me tell you if you don't know, it is this whole endocrine system, right? Underneath the first layer of skin of your body is where it really begins. And that's the lymph layer. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you get a scratch on your body and it's like it's deep enough to hurt, but it's not deep enough to bleed. So it's like you get like this clear liquid or something, and it's like kind of yellowish when it dries. So it's like the scab material when there's no blood really. And you might think, oh, that's like watered down blood. Nah, 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 nah. That is lymph. And lymph plays an integral role in the body. Lymph is connected, it's like the garbage cans of your body. I remember when I learned about this in school when I was in my undergrad program in a nutrition course, I think it was, of all things. The teacher had a biology background. Fantastic. The lymph, what it does is it carries all the crap in your body away so that the liver can take it and do what the liver does with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the pollutants in your body, okay, all the negative crap that comes in that we're about to talk even more about specifics of, all of that is handled by your lymphatic system. Do you know where your lymphatic system is really like center, kind of like the center of like the brain of the lymphatic system? It's your armpits. It's your armpits. So underneath your armpit, you got all these little glands and shit. And that's part of why we stink when we sweat. But you know what? It's good to sweat. So if you have some antiperspirant thing, maybe consider going to a clay-based deodorant. Believe me, Sugar Pie Honey Bun, I am, all about anti-chemical, but I do not like to stink. I am not one of those nasty, dirty, hippie fucking stink bags. I don't mess with the stink. I'm sorry to anybody who's out there like, I got the stink and I'm all about the stink. I'm not about the stink. I'm not. And it makes me want to vomit when people do stink. So I'm going to tell you from that place, so you know who you're talking with, that you can get a clay deodorant that really works and doesn't mess with you. Honest to goddess, there's this one brand I really like. I'm totally blanking. North Coast Organics, there it is, because it is so legit. You can find it on all sorts of interweb interfaces. It's clay, there's no BS, and baking soda and essential oils, and it works. You know, if it don't work, I'm not there. But point being, and this is not product placement, but it should be. Why don't y'all pay me for this shit? Honestly, no, I'm kidding. But for real, but for real, on the real, that's one way. The lymphatic system, if you clog it with deodorant, with these, not only these synthetic stuff in the laundry and the perfume, but like the antiperspirants and the deodorant, okay, you clog that lymphatic system, you are blocking off your abilities to do what it needs to do so that you get all the crap out of your body that no longer serves you. Why would you do that? Because you don't want to stink? Get you some clay deodorant so you don't stink and you ain't poisoning yourself at the same damn time. Now, while we're on the topic of deodorant, aluminum. Aluminum is in most major deodorants. If you don't know this, now you know. And I'm glad you do, because check it out. Relevant. Why? Because in the brain of people with Alzheimer's disease, they be finding aluminum in extra high concentrations. Figure me that, will you? I wonder where all that aluminum comes from. Not only our baked good pans, our disposable pans, okay, that we cook food in, the foil that we wrap our food in, that we ingested in, the freaking aluminum being sprayed in the atmosphere by means of chemtrails. And yes, chemtrails are freaking real. Need I not go on? It's real. Bill Gates just admitted to that shit publicly, yo. Bill Gates just said he does the chemtrails in an effort to control climate change and all this, that, and the other. BS on BS. You do not need to block the sun in order to manage climate change. You need to sequester carbon to manage climate change. Okay, you need to create more fresh oxygen sources while simultaneously taking out greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere. And the way you do that is by planting trees, heal our oceans. Okay, not by spraying aluminum at a nano particulate level or whatever the terminology is, but it's a minuscule piece of metal that they spray in the atmosphere in these chemtrails that blocks out all of the sunlight. That's why we be having all the overcast and shit. 100+ years ago, we didn't have overcast like that everywhere. That is not natural. That is not how clouds form. Okay, if you watch the streaks of the jetliners, it's not the not condensation contrails. You know what I'm saying? Those go away in seconds. Those disappear. They make white lines and they go away. It's chemtrails, and those are the white lines you see in the sky that 20 minutes later it turns into a big streak. 20 minutes after that, it's even bigger. But we is on the topic of aluminum, and aluminium is in these chemtrails along with barium and strontium, and that's why you need to take a calcium magnesium supplement. On a side note, now back to the topic at hand of aluminum, you can also find it in your fucking deodorant. So in addition to the things that you eat in, the things that you wrap your food in, the air that we're literally out here breathing, the food that is grown in that air in the earth that then takes on that heavy metal particulate matter over time, but also, okay, in this deodorant. You don't want to be using that deodorant. Get you some natural deodorant with no aluminum. Even Tom's is not the best brand anymore. They got bought out by some big time company and they have all these other weird sodium lauryl sulfate and this, that, and the other in their stuff now. I don't really recommend them like that. But look, if that's honestly the best you can do because it's aluminum free, it is a hell of a lot better than nothing, than just keeping on with Dove. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Okay, now moving on. What else should we talk about? Food, synthetic pesticides, okay, in food, organic food. This is one of the most primary foundational ways that we take in energy, that we take in, you guessed it, pollutants, chemicals, nasty crap is in our food. So are you eating Mickey D's? I don't know why you're eating Mickey D's. Yeah, they're cheap, so is a bag of beans. Not trying to lay it out there like, believe me, I know what it's like. I've worked a hell of a lot in my life. I get the convenience factor. Believe me. But I also get the, like, if you change a switch where it's like there's just no option to do that anymore, it's 100% possible. And like you can get decent deals on basic stocks foods and pre-make them. That is some of the savviest shit you can do if you live a very busy lifestyle. Pre-make your food for days ahead. Have a meal day where you just make everything for like 4 hours. You're just straight up cook mode and you have stuff ready in the freezer, in the fridge. But you know, I digress on that point. Eat you some organic foods, eat leafy greens. Let me tell you about GMOs. GMOs are not groovy. GMOs are genetically modified organisms. I have done videos on this before. Basically, it's beyond the process that is natural of hybridization. And hybridization is just when you take one plant that is similar to another plant and they have like plant sex together via pollen exchange. You know what I'm saying? And that creates a new type of plant, a new like little gene blend of that plant, okay, variety. But GMOs is very different. You take the DNA of a strawberry and the DNA of a beaver. Do those two things belong together? Can you tell me if those two DNA things belong together? Hell nah. Those don't belong together. You know what I'm saying? They take animal DNA, fish and strawberries. They put that together. What the literal F? You know what I'm saying? No, we ain't about that. That Frankenfood is for nobody because Mother Earth didn't even make that. Mother Earth didn't even make that. Like, come on now. Are you seriously going to sit there and eat that? Are you going to put that in your mouth and become that? Because you are what you eat. You already know. So I'm saying a whole food, plant-based, whole food, meaning it's not processed, it's not 20 different extractions of stuff thrown together and called food. Whole food, plant-based, plants, yo, plants, you know it's where it's at. Put me a plant icon if you was here. Seriously, put me a little plant emoji. It's cute. But anyway, like for real, plant-based diet is the way, yo. Like honestly, there's no thing in my mind that can, from an ethical vantage point, sit with the fact of killing an animal and taking their life. I just don't think my life is worth killing another innocent life for. It's not. It's just not. My life is very valuable. You know, my chi is very valuable. So I feed my chi. I feed my chi good food. And because of that, I feed it whole food plant-based energy. You know what I'm saying? It's pure vibration. It ain't no slaughtering vibration. It ain't no rape vibration. It ain't no like just terrible abuse like in chains and being whipped or being like stung with an electric thing or branded with a metal iron. It ain't none of that. I don't eat that. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat that. And I encourage you to not eat that because you are what you eat and you're eating the energy you put into your body that feeds this vessel. So why would you eat that when you can eat plants? And if you look at a plant, tell me that doesn't have a positive vibration. And you know what? They've shown studies you can give gratitude to plants as you chop them up or before you chop them up, and they release better energy into your meal. This is such interesting like quantum physics level stuff, but it's so real. And if that relationship can exist with a plant, what do you think the relationship that can exist with an animal is if we honor them? You know what I'm saying? We kill 25 million animals a fucking day on this planet for food. That is insane. I might just do a different video on just that. But this is also on this topic where we get the contamination. It's an energetic pollution that I'm trying to put you up on first and foremost. Moving forward, it's a chemical pollution from a very grounded physical reality. The majority of pollutants in your food are probably coming from animals. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you about a little something called bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation. Boom. That's a lot of syllables, but you already know what it means. It means that something accumulates in the body of the being that has already consumed other beings. So if you're eating a like autotroph, like a plant that creates its own food via sunlight and the process of photosynthesis, then you are eating at the base of that pyramid and you are eating good. You are eating clean. You're eating sunshine, baby, like transformed into food. You know what I'm saying? The plant life. However, imagine you're eating an animal who ate another animal who ate plants. And not only did they eat that one animal, because an animal needs a hell of a lot more than just one animal to live off of in its life. If it's eating that, right, it's going to eat multiple animals. So if it's eating this animal that ate all these plants and they had some other animals in the process, and it's eating this animal that had all these plants and had all these other animals in the process, and if it's eating this animal that had all these plants and all these other animals in the process of them existing, you are getting, my friend, all of those toxins from every single one of them motherfucking animals in your food, because you're eating the end product. Cut out the middleman, eat the fucking vegetation. God put plants on earth for a reason, and they didn't put animals on this earth to kill. I'm sorry, not sorry, they didn't. And you can disagree, but you wrong. I'm not sorry. Like, that's just how it is, like, period. And it's just real, you know, I'm just real. You already know that. If you're watching this fucking video right now, you know that. But anyway, you know, moving on, if you don't want that in your life, get it out your life. Don't eat that. You don't need to eat that to live. You do not. You can come up with so many dope alternatives. I cook, man. Let me tell you, girl, whoever you is watching this, I cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can cook. It's not that hard. You have like people on the internet just throwing out food porn at you daily on like these vegan channels. It's fantastic. I mean, you can find so many people. You can find people you vibe with. You can just find the right vibe. But off of that, you know, you can get rid of the pesticides that come with that in your diet when you go organic and when you eat more leafy greens. Leafy greens are like scrub brushes. You know chlorophyll, right? It's what gives plants these gorgeous green color. Chlorophyll is like a scrub brush for your cells. It's like a scrub brush at a cellular level. That's why super groovy things like algae, blue-green algae, chlorophyll, right? Microgreens like what's it called, cress. These are all super really divine, benevolent, high vibration substances. And when you look at some blue-green algae powder in your hand, it is effing glitter. It is literally nature's glitter. It is gorgeous. It's like 10 times as shiny as any eyeshadow. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at blue-green algae for a minute. Like, holy guacamole. So like, imagine what that's doing for your cells when it's straight up organic and it's straight up chlorophyll and all these extremely benevolent. It's like the little micro scrubbers on the scrubber commercials that all go crazy at once. It's like that for your cells. Eat your chlorophyll, yo. Eat your kale, eat your microgreens, eat your cress. I'm salivating over greens over here. All my plant because it sounds so good. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna eat some of that later. But for real, like, that's the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cleaning your body and it's avoiding the source of the pollution to begin with. Okay. Outside of that, like, that's really a lot of the key kind of like daily avoiders. Get your fresh air on, get your air purifying plants on. Don't be intaking the poisons. That's really the thesis of this video, is when you can minimize the amount of toxins that enter your body, okay, you minimize the negative results of those chemicals. You minimize the implications of what you're ingesting throughout time, and it will come back to affect you for better or for worse based on what you continuously put into your body throughout time. This is Saturn medicine I'm giving you. You know, it has to do with regularity and the progression over time of something yielding a result that has been cast in stone throughout the ages, so to speak, of one's life. And so it's very Saturn like reality check video for you. I hope it brought you value. If it did, hit that like button so that other people get it for free. And thank you again for being here. If you're watching this still, you're so groovy. I appreciate you sitting with me, having a little talk today. And it's, with that said, through next time. Until next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.